People, this is Alexander. Obviously, question that came in the DMs. A young lady asked this question. It's concerning health and lifting and training, and the question specifically was essentially the phrasing of, is it true that your results are 80% diet? Like, how much does diet really play a role? This is an example of a false, what you might call like a pseudo heuristic, a faux heuristic. It's one of those platitudinal heuristics that has a quantification to it. It sounds true-ish. It's truthy. So your results are 80% diet and 20% training. Yeah, it's very similar to kind of things of, let's say, the statements that showing up is 50% of the battle, or discipline is 90% of your results, or it's these quantitative attachments to these statements that make them compelling because they have a number attached to them. And people, by the sake of most of us not being that intelligent, if I'm being honest, numbers are persuasion. Numbers are persuasionary. So I can attach some numbers to something. I can make a statement. Training 4 days a week is 37% more powerful than training 3 days a week. Where the hell did I get that? I have no idea. I just made that up. But you'll believe it. And you see this all the time in the media at large, where statistics are just falsely attached to things. You saw this with the recent, the NRA, the school shooting, with the, let's say the statements about like the AR-15, the bullets are fired at 3,000 feet per second. They travel 3 times faster than such and such. It's all completely fucking made up. Completely made up. I've been looking at some of these numbers, and it's just hysterical where these news organizations are just tweeting out literal bullshit, just complete fabrication bullshit, but it has numbers attached to it. So people are going to believe it. People will take it as quote-unquote fact. People are easy to lie to. Human beings are very, 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 very fucking easy to lie to. So diet, though, your results are your results 80% diet and 20% training, or 50% training and 50% diet? It's 100% of fucking everything, guys. The numbers, the quantification of it, that is irrelevant. It's fucking irrelevant. It's a stupid thing to try to estimate. You could say it's 50-50. You could say that, it's 50%, 50%. Sure, it is. But in that case, that means that the results of anything that you do is the sum total of all of your efforts. So trying to assign arbitrary percentages as to what is mostester, importanter, it's a stupid thing to do. If you want to optimize your health, it's what you eat, it's how you live, it's how you think, it's how you train, it's everything. It's your stress. It is not any one thing. There are things that can undo you, and they will take precedence, but that's context specific. There's lots of ways to unmake yourself. Trying to assign importance to one over the other, I've always found it just very, very, it's not destructive. How should I say this? It's misleading. It's very misleading to people. Because then you get into these situations where people are misapplying their focus and energy, and then they end up sort of living in the past, and they end up focusing upon the wrong things, or they're overly focusing upon things in regards to over-analysis and over-quantification, and just majoring in the minor, or they're minoring in the major, and they don't realize it. So then the whole thing becomes this deconstruction process where I have to sit down and talk to somebody, literally speak to them. Okay, what are you doing? What is your mentality towards these things? How are you thinking of them? What do you know about them? And then we have to break everything down. As I always say, you have to back up 10 steps, because then you realize, wow, you really don't know shit about anything that you're doing. And then we have to go through a whole re-education process where, oh wow, the way I've been thinking about thinking has basically been wrong, and the way I've been thinking about these things has not been accurate and precise. And then you do all of that, and then, okay, now we've got you lined up, and your health is, in some sense of order, and you're handling it. But, I guess to somehow summarize all that, so results with your health, 80% diet training, it's everything, and do both of them. And don't de-emphasize one or the other. So, any questions at all? If I was to probably distill that down, eat clean, live lean, train mean, and they're all infinitely important. So everything you do matters. Everything you do matters. Think of it that way. Hey, Hummer H1, I haven't seen one of those in a while. Questions, people, at all? Where'd you get your vocab from? Reading. I read a lot, that's why I have an expansive vocabulary. How's the vegan diet going? I quit that 3 weeks ago. I had life stress that got in the way, and I needed to be at the top of my game, and I didn't feel like modulating and altering my diet and running an experiment, so I'm switched back to my mostly, carnivorous diet. That's how it's fucking going. I ate 2 pounds of steak last night for dinner. Hopefully that answers the question. Do we have questions? Yes, no, maybe so, ladies and gentlemen. This is up to you. How often do you eat out? Probably almost every day, actually. Any other diet drinks what diet drinks do I like? I don't know what you're referring to. Favorite book off the top of your head? The book I always recommend that made an impact on me is Shogun by James Clavell. I've suggested that book a lot. Do you own Bitcoin? Yes, I own Bitcoin. If this turns into a crypto podcast, I'm not answering crypto questions. Go talk to Darren about that. Thoughts on Sean Baker and his all-meat diet? I find it very fascinating. The carnivorism diet, I guess it is keto, I guess you could say that. But the carnivorous diet it's been pretty astounding the level of evidence it has backed up for that in regards to the health effects. You know how to cook? I know how to cook phenomenally well. I'm a phenomenal cook. I just don't do it often. Diet Coke is not a diet. Is it a diet drink? I guess it's a diet drink. I mean, I drink Diet Coke because I like the taste. And it has no calories in it. That's why I drink it. I don't drink it, I guess, for diet purposes. It's just a beverage I consume. I just missed somebody's question about hypertrophy and something. Ask it again. Damn, I probably should have taken the freeway. These city streets are slow right now. Healthy is fast food. Probably just plain beef patties, in all honesty. Oh, we're good. Is it okay to lift weights every day? Yeah, of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? It depends on how you lift weights. Anything can be done every day, so long as you adjust the intensity of it. Book recommendations for 16-year-olds? Iron John. I just started reading that book. It's a very excellent book on how to be a man. Really, really excellent book. Phenomenal book, actually. When sore, is it better to rest or exercise? It depends on what's sore. If you can still train something else, you could still train. If your entire body's sore, you might need to take recovery time. That's context dependent. Going to San Diego in a few months. Any restaurants? I don't live in San Diego, so you're better off asking a San Diego residents. Do you even lift? I do lift. All right, there we go. Is it practical for training hypertrophy while eating hypocaloric? Practical? You can still, let me back this up. Training for hypertrophy does not mean that you're always trained to maintain muscle mass. You can do hypertrophy style training and just be maintaining. So, don't get in your head that hypertrophy training is only for when you're bulking. The maintenance of muscle mass and the maintenance of connect chain functionality and the maintenance of just overall health, that's all rep ranges. It's not just one rep range. It is not as if each rep range has a certain assignment of dietary protocol that you must follow when you do it. So, yeah, you could be hypocaloric and still be training in hypertrophy ranges. Bodybuilders do that all the time. So long as you're getting enough protein intake in, then you're going to be fine. You're not going to lose muscle mass. So, there's multiple factors to go along with that. It's not a single factor question. As I say all the time, health is not mutually exclusive. Most of the things that you guys think have just an answer to them, they don't have an answer. They have possible solutions based upon appropriateness. And what does appropriateness mean? Appropriateness means that you have to assess the situation with all relevant factors, and it's going to be more than one thing. Is cray alkaline bad? What the hell? Cray alkaline what? Are you talking about that bullshit creatine formula, or what are you referring to? Thoughts of Peter Thiel's book 0 to 1. Excellent fucking book, 0 to 1. Actually, 0 to 1 is a very good explanation of the, of power laws and how they shape the modern world in regards to, essentially the power of the small minority, the power of the singular company individual, and the necessity of being first to last, first and last, within various domains. So, a very good book that kind of explains the world, actually. I think I recommended that on my website like a year ago. I read it over a year ago. Anything else, guys? Yeah, we'll go another 5 minutes on this one. Dick. Okay. Is there a question there, or that's just a trolley comment? How'd you get into ballet? I saw it when I was 16. I thought it was the most beautiful thing I ever seen, and I wanted to be that and be a part of it. Diet is everything for results. Yeah, I mean, everything you put into your body affects your health, so yeah, that's why the idea that it's 80%, really, it's all of your health. Is there any meat in particular you would avoid? I don't eat pork, but I'm Jewish. Meat that I would avoid. I guess maybe low quality meat that's deep fried. Recommendation for whey protein without soy. The soy lecithin or lecithin, that's it. You guys that freak out about that soy lecithin ingredient, it's hypoallergenic and it's like a tiny fractional part of whey protein. It's not worth worrying about at all. So any good quality whey protein can work. Any good resources learning about Greek mythology and Renaissance? Jay Campbell is a really good, excellent individual to learn about mythology from. The Renaissance, is there a singular book? Shit, I don't know if there's a single book I'd recommend on the Renaissance. I don't know if any of you guys have recommendations, throw one at me. A lot of what I read when I was younger was literally reading history textbooks of when I was in school. I was the person that literally read the textbook, read it. I didn't read a lot of, I guess we'd call secondary literature in that regard. Most of what I've read in regards to history has been textbooks, in all honesty. A history teacher. History was my best subject. Well, among my best subjects. Yeah, I had good teachers, and I always read the textbook, and I also read, the other sources in the textbook. That's Nora Pearson's new book. It's phenomenal. Buy it. Phenomenal book. Just go fucking buy it. I don't know if it's worth doing a review, since all it's going to say is go buy the book. And unfuck yourself. Afternoon. Glock. Always go with a Glock. Do you go to a chiropractor? Yes, I do. Yeah, Glocks are, Glocks get hated on because, they're not pretty guns or ugly guns. You can take a Glock and throw it in someone's face and toss it 20 yards and bury it in the sand and then run it underwater and then pull it out and it will still fucking shoot. You take any other gun that's not a Glock and throw it, toss it, sand it up, it's not going to fire. Yeah, Glocks are just amazing. I'm not an expert on guns, guys, so don't start listening to this and be like, oh, we want to talk about guns? I'm not an expert in guns. I do know how to shoot. I've fired different kinds of guns. I've practiced some of that. I'm a good marksman. I have very much confidence in my ability to fucking put a bolt in somebody. That said, what do I care about with a handgun? I don't care about, I don't care about the ammo. I don't care about that the gun looks pretty. I don't care about that it's a 6-shooter and I'm a fucking cowboy. A gun is a weapon. What does a weapon do? A weapon is to kill people. So you want a weapon that is always reliable. You take a gun, you take a Glock, it has a high capacity magazine, or usually it's 9mm, so you got 12 bolts, 10 bolts, whatever. You can pump that thing, and as I said, beat up the gun, you can throw it, you could shoot someone 10 times and then beat them over the fucking head with it until they're dead. Glocks are fucking awesome. Any other gun that you do that with, you can't do it. Yeah, try it with a fucking 1911. Take your 1911 and fucking throw it as far as you can. Watch it bang against the ground and go try and fire it. Probably not going to fire. Anyway. So yeah, always go with Glocks. Always go with Glocks. Anything else, guys? Looking at your fitness program, is Wolverine the best program for an experienced lifter? Yeah. Wolverine works for anybody that's past the beginner into the intermediate stage. Would you recommend a chiropractor or someone who lifts weekly? I wouldn't recommend, but I wouldn't not recommend. If you find it helpful, definitely. Yeah, I mean, they can be very, very helpful. So, I mean, if you can afford it, sure. You have really nice hair, thank you. Recommended programs for leg hypertrophy for natty. Any program can work for a natty, honestly. The idea that there's natty programs, not natty programs, is a bunch of bullshit. How old are you? 28. Who's better, Chuck Norris or Steven Seagal? I guess Chuck Norris. I mean, I guess. Yeah. Steven Seagal's kind of insane, but I like that he's kind of insane. Yeah, on the subject of the natty question, though, guys, yeah, there is a such thing where a program can be way too high volume for a natural lifter. There is, at the same time, I know plenty of natural lifters that train really high volume, and they've got fucking muscular legs. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, anything can work. That comes in more so to finding out what it is. That's just picking a program, honestly, and just running it. You're really handsome. Thank you, Farah. Farah or Farah? Which one? Farah? We don't know. Did Steven Seagal shit himself when he got chokehold? Probably. I do believe that story, honestly. He seems like the type to talk shit that way. Both is all right. Okay, cool, why not? Any thoughts of Elliot's training programs? Elliot Holsis stuff? It's great. Go fucking do it. I don't talk shit about other people's programs, you know. Ever been to the Netherlands? No, I have not. It is on my list, though. If you'd like to give me a tour, I would love that. Do you have any programs for shoulder pain treatment? No. I don't treat injuries. All injuries are always situationally specific. You cannot... There is no way to make a program that will solve someone's shoulder issues. There's just not. I'd love to. I will message you. There are... You know, you can have programs that can improve posture. I have programs where you could run them and it will probably improve your shoulder functionality. But if you're having shoulder... Like I said, shoulder issues, what does that mean? That could be... it's completely multifactorial. I'd have to assess. You should. I'm like, I will hit you up. I'll hit you up. I'm making an international trip later in the year anyway. I had steroid shot in the shoulder last week. Okay. Again, dude, that doesn't tell me anything. I'd have to physically assess you in person. Any injury, pain, I always have to physically assess the person in person. There's no way to make a ethical recommendation. Yeah, I could say your shoulder's hurt. You probably have a weak shoulder girdle. You probably have underdeveloped rear delts. You probably have poor shoulder mobility. You probably have poor scapular retraction strength. All that stuff. Which you're pre-workout. Right now, I've been doing a combination of nicotine gum and lion's mane mushroom extract. Can you be my personal trainer? Just asking. That's a possibility if you want to come out to see me. I do weekend intensives for clients on an individual basis. They are not cheap, but you will learn a lot. So, if you want to, message me. Can Bruce Lee truly fuck anyone up? Well, he's dead, so I don't think he's fucking anyone up at this point. But in his day, he was probably a pretty deadly man. That goes without saying, I think. I would imagine that's self-evident. Do you ever take pre-workout before running? No, I've always found that taking a pre-workout before you run, because it's going to elevate your maximal heart rate, it's going to give you a maladaptive effect where if you take a pre-workout before you run, and you're going to have the heart rate elevation, you're going to end up essentially overly exerting yourself within cardiovascular intensities that you don't want to be overexerting yourself in. So do not take any kind of pre-workout before you go to do any kind of cardiovascular training in that regard. I don't believe in doing that. I've seen it have adverse effects on people way too often. I run, but it's snowing right now. Well, hopefully you have some kind of little home gym set up that you can do inside. Do you eat bread at all? Not really. How long does the C4 pre-workout last? I have no idea. I'm not, guys. I don't take 8,000 supplements, and I'm an expert in supplements. I know about the supplementation ingredients and the overall nutritional context in which they're taken. An individual supplement, fucking go take it and find out. What did you eat today? So far, I've eaten nothing. I'm, I guess, currently in a fasted state. I had black coffee. I do stretching. Stretching is good. What is one food you completely avoid? I don't know if I want to answer diet questions. You guys always get the wrong impression of everything. My diet is whole foods. I eat for the sake of my genetic health. I eat to sustain myself, relative to the activities I do. I don't eat things that are processed. I generally avoid sugar, relative because I think the health ramifications of sugar are, outweigh the benefits of eating sugar. Read the book Deep Nutrition by Catherine Shanahan, and that will comprise my overall diet philosophy. That will teach it to you. What's your caloric intake per day? I'm not answering the diet questions, guys. Everyone always takes that and they run it out of context with how they think I eat. I weigh 200 pounds. I'm highly physically active. My caloric intake is probably pretty high. It's going to be over probably 3,000 a day. What kind of shampoo and conditioner do you use? Genetics. It's called genetics. It means I got really good fucking genes from my parents. And that's why my hair looks like this. How's life? Life is awesome. Life is awesome. I eat for my health. I'm in healthcare profession. 3,000. Well, it's not. 3,000 is not that many calories. I'm 6'2". I'm 200 pounds, and I also end up training, probably approximately in any given week, like upwards of 25 plus hours. So, it is. My energy intake is appropriate to my energy expenditure. I'm 6'5", 200 pounds. You need to gain weight. What do you do when you're fasting? I don't eat. I don't know what kind of question this is. When is the taco party? Taco party happens when I get to 1,000 patrons, and then everyone can show up and we can have a taco party. I am dead serious. But only when I get to 1,000, though. Because that will be at the point where I have 1,000 true fans. You look great, thank you. I'm 5'8" and weigh 147 pounds. You need to gain weight, too. All of you gentlemen need to add muscle mass to your frame. All of you. Have you ever ate at Fat Burger? Yeah, Fat Burger's fucking awesome. I used to go there like every week when I lived in Los Angeles. Get their, triple patty or whatever it was, the 1.5 pound burger. Optimum weight. Shit, really? I must be a skinny fat? Unfuck yourself and fix that. There's no reason for a man to be unfit. You look like shit. You look like shit. You're never going to maximize your potential as a human being. You're never going to maximize your masculinity if you're a fat guy, because people will always think less of you. Everyone will always judge you based on how you look. You will judge yourself based on how you look, and you will always be less than you could be. So, you guys that are not fit right now, unfuck yourselves and fix that. That goes for the ladies, too. Optimum weight for a guy at 6'6". Dude, there's not really an optimum weight that's going to be dependent upon your frame. Could be 220, could be 230, could be 250. Depends on, the size of your bones, basically. I will say if you're that tall, you'd want to be definitely really fit as you possibly can be, simply because being 6'6", well, you're going to attract attention, and if you're a really, really fit 6'6" guy, you have a lot of power. You have the power of persuasion. Do you only offer coaching in SoCal? Yes, only in SoCal unless you want to pay to fly me out to see you. Is being big boned a real thing? Yeah, absolutely. Of course it is. Of course it fucking is. You think people have the same size skeletons? How am I 6'2" and you're not? My bones are longer than yours. I mean, being big bone is not an excuse for being obese, but yeah, do people have different sized bones? Abso-fucking-lutely. There is everyone has the same form of skeleton, but there is a great variety to the human skeleton in regards to the shape of the joints, the shape of the hips, the shape of the shoulders, the shape of the spine, all of that. 125 at 5'4", that's a healthy weight. That's definitely a healthy weight. Anything else, people? You do online coaching? Occasionally, if it's the right fit. Message me about that if you're interested. We can figure that out if that'd be appropriate. When did you last get punched in the mouth? A few months ago. My uncle was 6'4", 350, but could run for days. Good for him. I'm not really sure what the point is of that, other than him being an exceptional outlier, but whatever. Thank you, you're sweet. You're very welcome, my lady. Enjoy your day. Thanks for your time. You're welcome. We good? Anything else? Any last minute questions we want to ask that are relevant and hopefully have something useful of an answer? De nada. What is the conclusion of the title? The conclusion is that everything you do matters. All of your consequences will have consequences. Everything that you put into your body can and will affect you. So be mindful of it and pay attention. That is the conclusion. You look Argentinian. I look like everything that is exotic to somebody. I've heard all manner of things. What do you do for your abs? I train them with ab exercises that are good exercises. In actuality, I do a lot. I don't do anything special. I do a lot of hanging ab work. Hanging leg raises, that kind of thing. I do those movements properly. I do a lot of crunches and sit-ups, in all honesty. I don't do anything fancy. I do a lot of weighted abdominal work too, as well. So, plus also I've been training for 14, going on 15 years. So take that into account. How can you work out your liver? I have no idea what that question even means. All right, people. Adios. Talk to you all again.